Midnight testing continues, and people are looking at what the best classes are, what the highest DPS output is. But right now, we're going to look at what right now the current easiest DPS classes to play. Which DPS class will you be able to pick up in Midnight and absolutely pump your dick off? We got the top 5 easiest DPS classes to play at Midnight here from Marsalian. Let's check this one out.
Sometimes you need to just chill.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice to chill, eh? Hey, Gringo! Give me some of those easy specs, huh?
Does he sound like Wario?
We all had those
Demon
hard
Hunter?
days at work where you
bet they're
just
on the
want to
list.
get home, log into WoW, and have a nice, calming gaming session. When all of a sudden, your raid leader gives you your new raid add-ons and tells you to swap to a new spec? Scratch all of that. In Midnight...
Well, there won't be raid add-ons anymore, so at least when you swap to your new spec, that won't be a thing. You don't got to download the add-ons, hey? No add-ons.
Everything is simpler and less of a headache to play, but what are the 5 easiest DPS specs to play, you ask?
Very nice to chill sometimes.
Retribution Paladin.
The
Surprise,
poster child
surprise.
of the most popular spec in the
The fucking, the class of WoW. If there was one class that just defined WoW, it's got to be Retribution Paladin. I mean, remember when they got nerfed and they took to the forums and like stopped, they were like, we're not going to play the game anymore, and Blizzard had to fix them? It was unbelievable.
game has to make it on this list, and it did. And here it is. Retribution Paladin has definitely established itself as one, if not the most accessible spec for anyone looking to have a good time in WoW. Whether you are questing in the open world, crunching in some delves, or pushing endgame content, Red Paladin has one mission and one mission only: to put the hurt on the void, both physically but also financially, by driving up their monthly utilities. Just look at that. Not sure how much you
Lot of
pay
light.
for your electrical bill, but I saved thousands on light bulbs by just watching live streams of people playing Retribution Paladin. Jokes aside, a lot of heavy lifting for a cool class is done by the visual.
Look, yeah, jokes aside, people have been saying it for a long time. Retribution Paladin, in terms of like their rotation and the way they feel when you play them, a lot of people say it's like the most polished class in the game. It's just like very well made. The rotation feels great. It's a well done class, and you know, I'm gonna hate on them, but because they're so damn popular. But people say it's just a really good class, really fun class to play.
And Retribution has that in spades. When you hit the final verdict, it feels like this. Not only does red look good, it feels good. The hammers flying and crashing into your enemies, the constant burning light searing your foes, and I can never get enough of seeing Wake of Ashes slashing everything around me. On top of the feels, the practicality of playing a paladin, which obviously red is one, comes with a lot of tools to use. People joke often about how simple red is, but I'm yet to see red players consistently use Blessing of Protection to remove stuns and bleeds from party members, Blessing of Sacrifice to save their tank or a party member soaking a dangerous mechanic, even Freedom, something that has been made so accessible and almost passive, is often underestimated and underused. After years of back and forth with the Paladin class fantasy, we have finally reached a place where you can feel like an actual bulwark against evil, set out to save your friends by enacting swift vengeance upon your enemies, and all of this sounded very James Cameron-y, but the reality is you are not just playing a blanket avatar with a random assortment of pixels for your spells. Retribution combines flashy with simple and impactful, and if you were looking for a melee DPS to get you where you need to.
Yeah, and as a melee DPS, they wear plate, you know, and they can self-heal. They're just like they're not only really good at like group content, they're really good at questing too. I mean, with your ability to self-heal, you got a bubble, you got all kinds of shit that you can easily survive with. They got high survivability, they can take damage, and they can dish the damage out. I don't think it gets better than that for questing, but fuck them, I don't like them.
Go! Retribution is it.
Winter is coming.
Was that again?
Very nice to chill sometimes.
Frost Mage.
In the words of the immortal
I've been hearing good
Arnie,
things about Frost.
Iceman cometh.
You cannot chill and enjoy WoW without the appropriate temperature, and the cold winter of midnight is clearly Frost Mage. For the longest time, it has been the quintessential simple mage spec to play, and although it may relinquish that title to Fire Mage at this rate, the playstyle is vastly superior, hence why it made it into our list. Don't get it twisted, even if it was reworked, the ease of access is still there. You still build up your damage, now called freezing, and your base spells like Frostbolt and Flurry will do that. As you do this, you accumulate freezing on your enemies, or rather they accumulate it as a debuff. With Ice Lance, you shatter stacks of freezing for a lot of damage. That's basically it. The death of the spec comes
Simple rotation. It sounds like build up freezing, shatter it with Ice Lance. You know, build it up. There's probably going to be a perfect number to build it up to and shatter it. Nice big bursts
from your DPS cooldowns like Frozen Orb, Blizzard, and Ray
Frost
of Frost,
is not
which
that simple on live,
offer
really.
different ways of building up freeze, and Comet Storm being an additional source to shatter those freezing stacks. No more Winter's Chill debuff to track and stack. No more cheeky projectile traveling min-maxing. The spec's code of
It might not be simple on live, but it's simpler for sure than it used to be. I mean, look, he's talking about all these things that you used to have to track that are now removed.
paint is straightforward and intuitive while also retaining those dope moments of burst damage. Glacial Spike is now an upgrade to your Frostbolt that happens every 20 seconds or so as you accumulate icicles. Also, icicles are no longer tied to your mastery and also no longer influence your Ice Lance in any way. But rest assured, Ice Lance gets plenty of love with the new talents where you can increase the stacks it shatters, the number of targets it hits, and overall the impact on your rotation. Comet Storm is also an upgrade to your Ray of Frost, keeping the key binds to a minimum. You can opt on adding Cone of Cold to your bars with talents like Cone of Frost, where it can be an instant application of freezing in AoE. Then if you want to get cheeky, Cold Snap can reset its cooldown so you can do it again.
I haven't played Frost Mage, but it seems like it's all about stacking those freezing stacks. I mean, even this Cone of Cold, that's what it's doing. It's instantly stacking a bunch of stacks for you, and then you're going to shatter it with Ice Lance. It does seem like a fun interplay.
Which you then proceed to shatter everyone to little tiny frosty pieces. If you are an enjoyer of deep class fantasy, you can now have your water elemental as a permanent pet with no strings attached. It literally stays there and shoots 2 spells at your enemies as a little frosty trophy pet. Spellslinger has a talent that will give it a small chance to generate splinters, but besides that, it's purely something you can just have alongside you as an additional source of damage.
Yeah, that's another thing about Frost for like questing purposes and stuff in Midnight. I mean, you have a pet, so that's always makes questing easier. Plus, you're always slowing your enemies down, so you could just easily kite all your enemies around.
Mostly cosmetic, but it does give you the feel of Frost Mage. If you enjoyed this video and want to do us a solid, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps Marcellin and Flame grow, which in turn translates into cooler videos in the future. We also have a Patreon if you are feeling extra generous at patreon.com/Marcellin and Flame. There we put some more exclusive content as a show of thanks for your support. Thank you and enjoy the rest of this video.
Yeah, Lano, I'm going to play Blood DK, that's for sure. Frost DK on the list, nice, at number 3. Yeah, I never change up my class. I don't care what's considered to be easy or fun or whatever. For me, I am a Blood DK. That's who I am. I am Samiccus and Samiccus is I. I'm not going to change it up. But I watch this for the community, for the people, as a man of the people.
Keeping the temperature low, let's get on to the next glorious success when it comes to class reworks. Oh, don't worry, Frost Death Knight hasn't been reworked at all going into Midnight from the War Within. That just shows how good the War Within rework has been. You know, the rework that took it into Season 3 as the S-tier spec everyone is talking about?
Yeah.
Essentially, Frost Death Knight is a prime example of how to take a simple spec, add a bit more class fantasy, fix its problems, and convert unholy diehards to the chill of the grave. The premise is simple here. Take Killing Machine, the passive that makes your obliterates automatically crit and hit harder than the pandemic inflation, and you get happy gamers that will never complain even when you ask them to grip all of the mobs into melee. Never liked Breath of Sindragosa because you had to squeeze your spells out every second to maintain your runic power generation? Solved. It now passively deals damage and gets slightly extended when you consume Killing Machines.
Nice.
So in the end, it does more damage when you do even more damage. Because nothing is better than damage, except even more damage.
Yeah, damage stacking on damage. That sounds great.
Oh, don't worry. You don't even have to play Breath of Sindragosa if you don't like it, since you have a whole new path of capstones you can replace it with. And can I say, to all those who glorified the Red Paladin visuals, take a look at the new Remorseless Winter animation.
Oh, damn. That looks really cool.
But don't think you are getting nothing in Midnight. The Apex talents will target your Frostworm's Fury, the literal undead dragon you shoot out to mess everyone up, which now you can recall for another one of these. Take a simple rotation of a builder and...
Is that thing moving way faster than it used to? Frostworm's Fury just flies across the screen way quicker now.
And a spender, add a proc, and a button to give you the proc more, and some resources. Give me 2 more big abilities for more procs and more spenders, and you get an easy to understand, fun to pick up, glorious to play DPS spec.
Nice.
That didn't really sound like it, but trust.
Number 2, Beast Mastery Hunter. It's funny right now, the two meta, basically, DPS classes right now are Beast Mastery Hunter and Frost DK, and here they are in the top 3 for Midnight.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Hey, don't you worry your
Got
pretty
no
little
abilities
head
left.
about it.
Pre-watch
Game is
now.
actually cool. It has been pruned though, and this spec is really good if you really don't care about death or complexity and just want to feel relaxed. Shoot some enemies and not worry about casting and mechanics. You'll still shoot your barb shots.
I mean, so far, 3 of the top 5 classes have pets. We got Frost Mage, you got Beast Mastery Hunter, and what's the other one? 2 of the top. Was I wrong? I was wrong. My bad.
But they don't stack attack speed buffs for your pet
Pets are
anymore
good.
that you need to keep up.
Pets are good.
And instead, you just put bleeds up. They can spread automatically. And even
Unholy wasn't on
spawn
the list.
your dire beasts now. Okay, these are a different breed of visuals. It's not like Red Paladin or Frost Death Knight where the animations are flashy. Instead, it's like Jurassic Park if Jurassic Park was the Azeroth Zoo unleashed upon your enemy until their model gets lost like corporate ethics when housing currency gets implemented as a microtransaction. And if that wasn't enough, you have a Stampede with Pack Leader. And I am saying this because nothing says Beast Mastery more than getting every single beast in the Azeroth Encyclopedia wailing like mad at a pack of mobs. Dark Ranger also brings with itself an upgrade to your...
I agree with him there, though. The Beast Mastery Hunter fantasy, like when I watch Beast Mastery Hunters play now, I feel like they're living out their class fantasy. All these animals, all these pets just flying around, doing damage, and then you see Stampede, it makes sense. They are Beast Mastery Hunters.
Gameplay, with Black Arrow and Wailing Arrow being 2 additional buttons. Wailing Arrow is just another cooldown from your Bestial Wrath, but Black Arrow procs and adds to your rotation moments of burst and interactivity that keeps things fresh. I am mentioning these more for BM Hunter than any other spec in this list because when they were released, they were iconic as fantasy aspects of Hunter, but also ended up as huge disappointments. It sucks a bit that we needed a whole expansion to pass for these to be what they are today, because what they are today is literally what the name implies. A Dark Ranger, Hunter in the service of Sylvanas, with Withering Fire and Banshee Wails coming out of you when you pop your main cooldowns. Or a Pack Leader, the boss of beasts, the big animal kahuna. And these matter more than you may think with how much flavor they can add. Beast Mastery Hunter, when the death is not important as long as you get it in.
Very nice to chill sometimes.
Destro Warlock.
Let's talk about the one to rule.
So I was right. Look at that. Like, it's almost like I pre-watched this. 3 of the top 5 have pets. Unbelievable. Now people are going to really say I fucking pre-watched this shit. Damn
the
it.
Mall. Destro Warlock is your
I'm never
going to
escape the
fell
allegations.
magic.
Yeah, pre-watch
And when it
confirmed.
comes
I
to
knew this was
rotation
fucking
complexity, I think it happened sometime during the Argus invasion where it was thrown accidentally out the window. And now you
I
are a
hate you
simple
guys,
builder
man.
spender spec that looks incredibly flashy. Destro is the spec you should play if you are a new player to caster DPS and want to get a full experience going from hard casting your big finisher spells to working with your kit in positioning and, most importantly, being an absolute unit. Warlocks give Death Knights a run for their money when it comes to tankiness, being historically a class with a lot
many
of
pets.
survivability. And this does not change in Midnight. The pruning introduced
Ghost, thank you for the Prime sub, man. I appreciate that. 6 months, Death Knight of our Scourge. I'm glad they haven't made any Shaman classes easier. Yeah, well, I mean, I think Shamans are going to be in a good place, though. I do.
for classes has touch destruction as well, but only slightly. You don't have to track stuff like Eradication and squeeze in Chaos Bolts to not have the buff drop, neither maintain damage amp buffs like Roaring Blaze. But honestly, Destruction has always been straightforward. What really changed in Midnight is its Apex talents. Oh, don't worry, you don't have to stay after class to study a new rotation or anything. The talents activate an Echo of Sargeras that shoots down at your enemies whenever you cast Chaos Bolts or Rains of Fire, and with a % chance to occur when you cast Incinerate. The visual effects add an extra flare of destruction, peppering your enemies with showers of Shadow Flame damage. And this is just the start. Every spec in Midnight has been simplified, but maybe simple isn't necessarily what your goal is. Maybe you want fun, regardless of complexity, in which case
No, we're
we
simpletons.
made
We want
videos
simple.
about the most fun DPS specs to play, with range being one of them. Click it and see if it vibes with you.
Nice video overall, and I saw a lot of these coming. I knew Frost DK was doing really good. I knew Frost Mage was doing really good, so it makes sense. And like I said, 3 of the top 5 sitting there have pets. So again, if you're a person who's maybe new to the game, coming back to the game for the first time, these are really good classes to pick up. Even the ones without pets, Retribution, Paladin, so much survivability for just doing shit on your own. I totally agree with this list. Probably all right, and nice little top 5 there. Good video here from Marcellian.